My story begins in the 2019 academic year, a year that many of us maybe don't particularly enjoy reflecting on. I started the year as a visual art educator in Everett with 40 classes in a rotation, approximately a week and a half, 981 students in kindergarten through 8th grade. We were preparing and developing our class norms together. We were building our art portfolios, and I was in the process of learning all 981 names, which is really fun, their backgrounds and their favorite activities. Soon, all of our daily routines, our lesson planning style, and our teaching practice was flipped upside down in the March of 2020. I distinctly remember saying to my students that day, "See you in 2 weeks," and answering questions about our highly anticipated next art club meeting, which was very well attended. Little did we know that that time frame was about to expand dramatically. A number of weeks went by, and soon we were all downloading Zoom, creating links for our classes, creating accounts, sending links, emails, all of that. I created Google Classrooms for all 40 classes, and seemingly became Bob Ross overnight, or potential inadvertent YouTuber. Not what I was anticipating in 2019. One of those. Students would submit their works over Google Classroom, pictures of their work, and I would enter grades. Pretty standard teacher protocol, and typically I did not get much commentary. As a non-core teacher, that was pretty much how it was. However, time and time again, as they were submitting their photos of their work, I was entering in their grades, leaving comments, they would comment back. And before I knew it, I'd get that little ping on my laptop, comment, coming in, time after time, about their completed assignments, about their inspiration, all of that. And I sensed their eagerness to connect. I sensed that eagerness and responded accordingly. I developed, strangely enough, the strongest relationships with my students during this time, when we were so disconnected. We hadn't seen each other in person in weeks, which became months. You remember. One student in particular, Jenny, who never spoke a word during class, not even once. I would get comments from her seemingly every 5 minutes about the assignment, her inspiration, her favorite artist, my favorite artist, Frida Kahlo, what she wanted to be when she grew up, veterinarian, by the way, good choice, animal lover, just like me. The list goes on. During this same time, a community beautification project was already in the works, and I jumped at it, and so did my students. It was already in the works, and it came to fruition during this time. Whilst abiding by CDC masking guidelines, we all came together to paint the Beautification Way mural, the background colors, the outlining, and even some students applied to paint their own design in one of the sections. Students from all over the district came together so well, in such a great way during this time, while we had been feeling so disconnected. It was truly amazing to see. At the same time, a group of my former students as well as my current students banded together to create what I like to call renegade public art. So we would take these little mini canvases and paint positive messages, inspirational quotes, inspirational images to distribute throughout our greater community. And that's the thing about art. It is universal. It speaks to everyone. And it did. I felt the need to take my inspiration a step further. A regional group of educators and myself were accepted to the Teacher Leadership Institute and guided by representatives from the MTA, the NEA, as well as various local universities such as Harvard to conduct a research project leading to our capstone project in our respective districts. My project centered around culturally responsive pedagogy as a means through which to increase classroom connection and community, where students would be reflected in their learning experience through a variety of arts-inspired activities. I thought for sure I would only get a few enrollments, maybe a couple of arts teachers that already knew me. However, to my surprise and joy, I had quite the enrollment. I had an English teacher, a couple EL teachers, a couple classroom teachers, and we really dove into the topics. Following this PD, I would hear from these teachers that they incorporated an arts integrated strategy into their classroom, reflected their students further in their teaching practice and in the students' learning. And they would explain to me how this really worked out. Like, I feel like we have a stronger community. This is great. And that was really awesome to hear throughout the year. Through this fellowship, I was able to hone my leadership skills and bring this to my colleagues. Fast forward to 2023. In a moment of serendipity, walking around Boston on a rainy day with an artist, I happened upon the Be the Change public art exhibition, which was comprised of a variety of artworks surrounding topics such as environmentalism, immigration, social-emotional well-being, mental health, and school books and topics. I met the directors of this public art exhibit, and they agreed to bring the exhibit to Everett. Once in Everett, the entire community was able to view these works, which is pretty cool. A lot of our students had never been to a gallery, a museum, so this was a pretty special experience for them. There was tremendous participation from all of our schools district-wide. As students walked around, inside, and engaged with each piece, I saw them immediately light up. They were drawn to the pieces almost like they were magnetic. I could see their smiles, I could see their eyes light up. It felt like this exhibit was made for them. Be the Change is planning to return to Everett in the fall of 2024 and beyond. And so our connection in our community, established through these arts projects, will continue on. The sky is the limit. Thank you.